Got another day. All praise to Yahweh Shemashah. We got another day with demons everywhere. It done hyped up. Coronavirus done cleared. So-called cleared. No mask, half mask, 6 masks. Over here, 6 feet. Hey, you better get most high, the billion feet when them days come. We about to, hey, it's about to be over. All this shit that's about to come down, it's easy. Somebody tell me I got my glass on my head. Esau is about to crumble, man. His economy is weakened. But first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh.
Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostle. Notice peace, salutation to the brothers out here doing the work of sincerity and the truth. The hopeful elect, the brothers waiting patiently every day for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to return. So we get out this place. Peace, salutation to you, brothers, man. We out here another week. Hey, the governor lifted the stay-at-home order. Hey, we came out, you know, to continue the work as we always gonna continue in the name of the Lord, man. All right. So, but you realize, but Esau is still super devil, man. No matter what it is, his horns keep coming up, his so-called tail keep coming out, and he can't stop. He can't help. It's like he can't control who the hell he is. Why? Because the Most High made him that way, right? Right? This devil is the devil is still got his legislation out there. Trump is still bullshit. You know, we don't care, and it's all in the works of Yahweh Shemel Shah. It ain't because of what you put on a Black Lives Matter shirt. What does it matter? You know, if you still hit Black Lives Matter, we would be on top. You know, because the word black is a word that basically talks about negativity, man. And then when you see Black Lives Matter, you see only Edomites doing it, man. It's not that Jake doing it. Edomites doing it, man, because what? It's a cover-up. It's a covert position where they put Jake in the name of Black Lives Matter for Jake, but Jake ain't even the one doing it. Nah, Jake will, if you bust a window, Jake is like a shark to blood. He go straight to that shit and go in there, you know. But shit, I mean, shit, they know what to do. That's why they're coming, bust windows open and leave. Put bricks in the area.
A lot of these Edomites too, they occupy Wall Street rejects.
Yeah, that's it.
So they just want to be part of anything. They want to just link up, you know, but they got their own agenda. You know, so they just find a reason, you know, to, you know, cause something, you know, they mad because, you know, they feel that their white supremacy hasn't gotten them far, so they upset. It's just like, you know, during the Civil War. Like, you had Edomites so-called fighting to free slaves. It wasn't because they wanted the slaves free. It's because, damn, you're taking all our jobs. You know, fuck. You know, where our jobs at? So free them so we can get some of these jobs. They don't really care about you.
Also, like 70 AD, when you had Edomites fighting side by side with the Southern Kingdom, you know, the true Jews.
They still gonna go into slavery, right? You know, that's what's crazy about it. They want to fight side by side, but you still see Jake. It was a dude named, I forgot his name, was Swinney or something like that. He was a 14-year-old young man that got killed by, they said, I think it's down south and shit. And he said he murdered 2 young girls. He was only 14, he was only 90 pounds. They said he killed them. Come to find out, they just exonerated him a few weeks ago. A year ago, a few weeks ago, he was put on an electric chair, man. And electrocuted, they got a movie about him. He didn't even do it. Come to find out, some rich, wealthy family did. Somebody in their family did it.
Edomites.
Yeah, but they always blame the Jake.
Yep.
The Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. They bombed our people in those areas, man. All right? Somebody got a scripture?
I got a precept.
Go ahead, precept. Bring it up.
Okay, Book of Job, verses 9, verses 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the basis of the justice thereof.
Yeah, the earth is given in the hand of the wicked. So if you want to do what they call that process of elimination, who controls the earth right now at this moment, man? You can't say that Moab. You can't say the Chinese. You can't say they did it. You can't say the Africans do it. They don't control this earth. You know, the earth is given to the hand. Who has the hand over their grip upon the whole world? Who has their hand upon the necks of every nation on this earth? Whose hand is getting weak because he's getting feeble and old. It's getting loose because what? The Most High is making that happen, man. All right, go ahead.
Okay, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Who are the judges, man? The judges is the Lord and the angels, man. They making them look like them, man. Right? They painting over them, man. What's that? Is that 3 and 8? That's second Ezra. I get it. I get it.
Because they're not covering the faces of Ishmael. They want to take the famous Ishmaelite and whitewash him and paint him white. They not covering the face of some famous Buddha, and you find out that the real Buddha is a Chinese person. They cover the faces of you so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos.
Damn.
That's who they cover the judges of, because the judges, in order to be a judge, you have to execute the law. Who was the law given to? It was given to the Israelites.
That was the Israelites. Who was the ones who Moses was speaking to, man? At the mountain, man. Was that Mount Sinai? Who was he speaking to, man? He wasn't speaking to all nations, man. When that happened, all right? Go ahead. Oh, for real?
You want to buy this building?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Isaiah 32:6, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity.
Yeah, he would speak villainy because he's a vile person. All right. So he's gonna speak. Go ahead, man.
To practice hypocrisy.
He's a big hypocrite.
And to utter error against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
This devil's a hypocrite. He don't want you to do nothing to him, but he want to do everything to you. But he's lucky that the Most High put I believe it's in Genesis 4. Hey, you touch Cain. Hey, Cain. Hey.
4 and 15 and 16.
Time. If you got it, bro, bring it out. You got it, bring it out, bro.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 15. And Yahweh said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
So right now, you got a little buffer, you punk. No, Shalak. He got a buffer, because if you go ahead, let's put it like this. If I kill, if a Jake kill another Jake, he'll get probably 10 years, 20, 15 years. Go ahead, kill Esau, he getting 25 to life forever. He getting forever in it. Most High said what? Read it again. You finish the
Genesis 4 and 15, and Yahweh said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any fighting him should kill him.
So she set a mark upon Cain. So this is basically the Edomites, man. This is the precursor to who you got as the Edomites. And sevenfold mean, man, you're gonna get a long time. The Most High said if you touch him, you're gonna get killed. You're gonna get a hell of a lot more trouble for messing with us. Because back in the day they used to kill anybody that had those type of marks on them, man. You had leprosy. A lot of Jakes did that too. You had leprosy. You couldn't be around the congregation. A lot of them escaped and went up to the mountain where Esau was at too. They did a lot of this shit. You had leprosy, man. You was not welcome nowhere around there, man. Esau made it that you can basically do you can be around it because he's a clean leper. You got different. You got. Go ahead.
Can I bring this out? Go ahead. Let's go with the Genesis. Who shall bring me to a strong city?
This is Psalms 60 and 9.
Because we can't tell you that. It's going to tell you how.
Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Will not thou, O Yahweh, which hast cast us off, and thou, O Yahweh, which didst not go out with our armies?
Who shall bring me into Edom? Who shall bring me to the strong city? Who shall bring me to Edom? Pretty much dealing with Yahweh Shai having to take Esau, Edom down. Because Esau, the spirit that's inside of Esau, Edom, Esau and the lineage of Esau, which is the so-called white man today, is the same spirit that was within Cain. So that same curse still applies, unto them this day. If you kill one of them, then 7 of yours will be killed. So it's going to take Yahweh Shai to take that devil down. And then also going into Esau, his blessing is his sword, and he perfected his blessing.
He perfected his blessing. Esau perfected his blessing. The perfection is to the T. What they call that stuff, manifest destiny. They knew about that. That's why the scripture tell you what, they're wiser than Daniel, man. Somebody speak real quick. Somebody speak real quick.
You got something?
I got precept.
I got something to for later.
Okay. You got precept right now? Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord Yahweh.
So that includes, not going out and, organizing and saying we're going to get this Black Lives Matter, so we're going to protest, we're going to burn down the Wendy's, and then everything's going to be back to, normal. That's not, we supposed to wait on the Most High, because Most High, he ain't going to come back and just burn down a Burger King, like, all right, fuck it, all right, damn. The Most High, when he get down, he says he's going to have many crowns upon his head, meaning he's going to take the crowns upon all the other nations and going to put them, he's going to basically be in complete rulership. So we have to wait on the Most High, because we can't, because his blessing literally is a sword. And here we are, we are this day in our captivity. We're not in our own land. So you have plenty of slave revolts that happen. You had slave revolts with the Nat Turner slave revolts. Well, what happened? It was repressed. And again, the prophecy or the curse concerning Cain, about basically you kill one of him, you'll be killed sevenfold. What happened? So many Jake got killed that didn't have nothing, absolutely nothing to do with what the Nat Turner, rebellion. Just like, you a so-called black man, where's he at? We're gonna kill you. So that's how Esau gets down. Because when the Most High is in power, because he's coming with his angels, with his elect. There ain't no battle. Because says Satan will come down like lightning. So there ain't gonna be no, Satan's kind of fighting back, and then there's, the tables are turning. No, it's gonna be like killing an ant with a sledgehammer. So we gotta wait till the Most High for that day. And even in any battlefield, if you go to war, you can't just say, all right, you gotta wait on your commander what they say. You can't just say, all right, engage in guerrilla warfare tactics. You gotta wait, till somebody gives you the order, even if you want to. Everything has to be done in its proper time. You just like you had the Zealots. They wanted to do, take down the Roman Empire, but it wasn't time. You can't, go against the prophecy of what the Most High said.
Yes,
more.
All right, this is Zephaniah.
Wait, was you done?
Yes.
Okay, come on, go ahead.
This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with fire of my jealousy.
So wait on the Most High. He's going to send his son Yahushua, because he wants to get his revenge. So just like get can you get Revelation 1 and 6, I think, real quick, real fast? Because he wants to get his revenge. You can't, just take it upon yourself, because here it is. We weren't, we didn't die, on the cross for everybody's sins. Yahushua did. He's the one that is going to want his vengeance. Can you grab that?
This is Revelations 1 and 6. And have made us kings and priests unto Yahweh. 1 and 4.
Maybe 5. But go ahead and read 4 and then 5.
Okay, okay. Revelation 1 and 4.
Or every actual. No, 7. No, every actual see that.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with the clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also was pierced him, and all kindred of the earth shall wail because of him.
So he said he shall come with clouds, which is talking about Yahushua. So that's why he's saying, wait, let me get mine. You ain't gonna want to, basically try to destroy the people that, before he get a chance to. So everything has got to be in its order. Because if you try to do something, out of season, it ain't gonna work. And you read that in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Everything has a season. There's gonna come a time where it ain't gonna be a whole bunch of marching and laying down on the street and say hands up, don't shoot. That's not how the Most High plans on coming exacting his vengeance. Is that it?
Yeah.
Then,
follow up behind Zephaniah 3. Precepts of Zephaniah 3 and 8. This is Lamentations 3 and 24. It says, Yahweh is my portion, saith my soul, therefore I will hope in him. Yahweh is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of Yahweh. Because, go ahead. Nah, I was just saying, you know, this is a good deed that we do. You know, we back pounding the pavement, you know, preaching the word of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? And this versus, you know, right, protest, putting your hands up, out, like the so-called white man, he's not going to accept you. I don't care how you come.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, this devil, you know, he's showing you that. He's showing you by his fruit, by his deeds, that he's not accepting no so-called black, Latin, or Native American man.
Got
right?
I got something to back you up with. Real quick.
Wait,
all right.
Wait one second. Let me go first. This is the back what you were saying. But you know, he's going to be in the wicked. This is Job 20 and 5. And it says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Through his excellency bound up the heavens, and his hand will reach unto the clouds. Yet he shall perish for every like his own done. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Right, because it's gonna, you know, it seems like it's a long time. You know, every day, you know, when you at captivity, you know, of course it's going to, you know, seem like a long time, but it's for a moment. Because right now we're gonna have the kingdom, you know, forever, for everlasting. So literally, you know, what is, you know, Esau having this, you know, for this little small time that he's had? You know, that's just basically a candle in the middle of the sun. You know, it's nothing. You know, because we got, you know, eternity. You know, and it ain't gonna be, you know, Jacob's gonna fall again. Wait, was that on that?
It was, yeah, it was.
You grabbed yours.
I had another one to get back on.
Hold off on that. We get that later. Right. Yeah, I was gonna bring this out because the brother brought up a perfect point about trusting the Edomites. Book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rust, and so is his wickedness. And that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Because you can be in Black Lives Matter, you can be in whatever group you want to be in, but at the end of the day, you know, this man is the devil himself, and you can never trust him. Okay?
Appreciate it.
Grab yours. That was it on me.
This is Acts 5 and verse 34. Then stood there up one of the council, a Pharisee, named Gamaliel, a doctor of law, had a reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space, and said unto them, Ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. For before these days rose up Judas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against the Most High.
Everything is done in season. You can't rush, you know, the Most High. You can't, because, you know, at the end of the verse, it explained it well, you know, because if it's not, then it's going to come to an end. Now, you had, you know, matter of fact, you got that Zion already grab that now.
This is Revelation 7 and 1. And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the service of our power in their foreheads.
So he said, wait, time. Take the time, right, time out. So before all this happens, it's not like, put it like this. We can't, even with the Most High, with us, we can't just go out and say we're going to take down, we got to wait for everybody sealed up. We got to make sure all the prophecies, are fulfilled and everything. It's everything has its, proper time and place. Esau even understands everything has its time and place.
That's what I got.
Go ahead, grab that thing.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, to everything there is a season and to a time, and a time to every purpose under heaven.
God, so you can't because if you even in, like, let's say sports, if you're the fastest person, if you come in, let's say you run a route in a football, if you get there too fast, before the route is before the play develops, it's off. If you get there too early, you off. Everything has to be at its exact specific time. So everything is calculated. And everything has to be in its order and everything. All the prophecy has to be fulfilled. God, grab that in Ezekiel. And then, Malak, can I ask you to grab Exodus 27, and then we're going to go back to everybody who's calling? Yeah, take it one to about like 4. Okay. Then get Exodus chapter 27. I want to say Malak from like 1 through like 6.
Okay, this is Ezekiel 9 and 1.
Then I believe you said you got one. Okay, you got one. I got one also.
Ezekiel 9 and 1. And he cried also in my ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, and every man with his destroying weapon in his hand.
So they got destroying weapon in their hand. Now, a destroying weapon in the hand is designed to, like I said, destroy, to murder, to kill. Go ahead.
And behold, 6 men came from the way of the high gate, which held for the north, and every man's slaughter weapon in his hand.
So those 6 men represent 6 angels. Keep reading.
And one man among them was clothed with a linen, and was written inkhorn by his side. A writer's inkhorn by his side.
So that one man is, Yahweh Shai, who has that writer's inkhorn. Now we're going to read what he's going to do with it. Go ahead.
And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar.
So now, wait, if you buy a brazen altar, what's the purpose of a brazen altar? If you stand there beside the only person who could do performance, perform as basically the service of the tabernacle is a priest. So he's at the brazen altar. If you're doing a brazen altar, you're ready to do a sacrifice. Can you grab that Malak?
You said Exodus 27?
Yeah.
27.
Read it one, I want to say 4.
Exodus chapter 27, verse 1. It says, and thou shalt make an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. And thou shalt make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. His horns shall be of the same.
So now you have 4 horns, because each horn was going to be for each limb when you performing the sacrifice. So the front hoofs on one side of the horns, and then you got the back hoofs connected. So when you performing the service of the tabernacle, because you basically have to perform a burnt offering. Go ahead. Yeah.
Still in verse 2, it says, his horns shall be of the same, and thou shalt overlay it with brass, and thou shalt make his pants to receive his ashes.
Right, because when the ashes, in order for ashes to come, something has to be burnt. What's being burnt is the sacrifice. Maybe I want to say maybe a verse, and that's it. But that's pretty much the point, but to make sure that ain't nothing looking after.
And his shovels and his basins and his flesh hooks and his fire pans, all the vessels thereof, thou shalt make of brass, and thou shalt make, yes.
Okay, so the flesh hooks is where you basically hook them up to the 4 horns, and go back to there. Okay.
And the glory of the Almighty of Israel was gone up from the cherub, and whereupon he was to threshold of the house, And he was called the man clothed with linen, which had the writing inkhorn by his side. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city and through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon their forehead.
So now he had the writer inkhorns, so now he's putting writing on their forehead. So it's going to show what that mark is supposed to be. Okay.
Of the men that of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
So he said everybody who's actually, sighing and crying for all the abominations to be done, set a mark upon them. Go ahead.
And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after them through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
So the others are the ones who did not have it. So now everything basically everybody has to be marked with their writer's inkhorn, in order to be exempt. Because if you do something out of season, the Most High is like, I still got other stuff that needs to be done. That's it on that. Grab yours and then make yours. Yes. So I got a few lined up. You got
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs. And I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools. And I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them.
So this is not going to be something where, we're going to have to, be able to pick up, sticks, stones, and, fling rocks. The Most High is going to, it's just like in, well, that's why this place is spiritually called Egypt. Because when Egypt, basically, fell from its, its state, the Most High used, Masha, or Moses, to perform, he used him, to perform the plagues, and he brought the plagues before Pharaoh. The Egyptians were a very powerful, strong, mighty nation. We weren't strong enough to take down the Egyptians without Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. We couldn't have, just band up together and, just did it, because they were powerful. But when we have Yahweh while Yahweh Shai with us, no other nation can take us down. That's why all other nations, they want us to sin. Because when we sin, that's when we fall short. That's when, the Most High, basically, starts to depart from us. It was like when the sin is how, how death enters through the world. It's because, and that's why, basically we're going to live forever, because once we're established in the kingdom, we're not going to be sinning. We're not going to be going off no more. So we're not going to be dying. We don't have to worry about, being locked up or going into captivity again. Because every time we went in captivity, it was simply because we went off by disobeying the law, statutes, and commandments. And we kept doing it over and over and over. But then, according to Hebrews chapter 8, he's going to, restore, give us a new covenant and write us in our heart. And when it's in your heart, it's basically etched inside of you, and you basically it's like an instinct. We're not gonna go off. Go ahead, already. Skip a line real quick.
This is Judith. Going on the point what you said, Judith 5 and 17, in which they sin not before their power, they prosper, because the power that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the ways which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captive into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. So basically, going to the point, when we're in, just like the lost dog, when you read through Deuteronomy or read through Exodus or Leviticus, what is always like the end part of it? If you do this, thou shalt prosper in the land. If you do this, you'll have long days. If we seek Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and continue in righteousness, then we're at peace. But if we leave that, death comes upon us. Plagues,
Esau, Edom, Ammon, all these other nations have the advantage over us because of the sin. That's why Esau everywhere, you watch 5 minutes of the television, it's bacon burger, supreme meat at Pizza Hut, new pizza with
Extra most best.
extra most bestest with pepperoni landed everywhere across it, pepperoni on the crust, pepperoni on the cheese, pepperoni under the cheese, everywhere, man. Pepperoni on the box. You can eat the box with pepperoni now and shit. And it's because they want Jake to stay in that dumb retarded state, because when we're in sin, they have the advantage over us. Versus, that's why they're pushing this Black Lives Matter thing so much. They want Jake to think they're black. They want them to think, oh, Black Lives Matter. They're not saying Israelite lives matter, because what? If we're the Israelites, then something's going on here. If we're the Israelites, then who are these people? What's the name of the Heavenly Father? And what the hell is going on earth? So what do? They call Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter this. We're not black. No one on the planet is black.
That's right.
This t-shirt is black. I'm not blending in with this t-shirt.
That's right.
Verse 19. And now are they returned to their power and come up from the place where they were scattered and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. So that's
This is back up on that. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse 4. O Israel, happy are we for things that are pleased to the. Sorry, one. Yes, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that shall come to life, but such as leave it, shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
And that's what happens when you walk in the ways of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You're not in the congregation of the dead. You're full of light. You're illuminated. As they say, Illuminati. The word Illuminati just means a light or to be illuminated, which Esau is Illuminati. He's enlightened on the left-hand side. But for us, we have to be enlightened on the right-hand side.
Verse 3. Give thine honor to another. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee, to the strange nation. O Israel.
And that destroys that whole, oh, everyone can make it. Oh, everyone come as you are. Oh, you can be a so-called white person. You can be an Edomite and you can make it. It says, what, read it again?
Yep. Give not thine honor to another, nor things that are profitable unto thee, to a strange nation.
Which is this. This is what's profitable unto us. This is the way. This is the way and the truth and the light. We're not supposed to give this honor or this truth unto another nation. That's why when the heathens and Nehemiah came, and Nehemiah was told the heathens to leave. I forget his name.
You talking about this letter?
Chapter 4, I think.
Yeah, chapter 4. We told them the heathens to leave.
I know you're talking about
Zerubbabel?
Okay, Zerubbabel told them to leave because what we do has no parts of what they do. That's why in these captivity, Jake is set alone. They're set in their own little setup because Jake is separate from everyone. We're supposed to be doing the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and the heathens go fuck off somewhere. You ain't got no parts in this building. You have no dealings with us. And that's what people don't get. Everyone's not gonna. If the entire nation of Israel is not gonna make it, why in the hell would an Ishmaelite, Moabite, or Edomite make it?
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 4. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us.
Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered unto your enemies.
So, moving the Most High, how do you move the Most High to wrath? It's by breaking the law, statutes, commandments. That's how you move the Most High to wrath. You know, that's what pisses him off. Because here we are, you know, we're basically, you know, we're married to the Most High and Yahweh Shai. So when you know, if you are, you know, from a carnal perspective, if you're a man and you have a wife and she cheats on you and she commits adultery and she goes, you know, sleep with other dudes, you're gonna be pissed off at her. How do we commit adultery? By being husbands. By being a wife of Yahweh Shai, we commit adultery by worshiping other gods, by following after the customs of the heathens that are vain. You know, worshiping the creation as opposed to the creator.
And Judah it says God that hateth iniquity. So that's what keeps us separate.
And it says it right on verse 7. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not unto the Most High. Ye have forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye that grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
Right, and this is the spirit of Jacob. Right when you know we had got delivered out of ancient Egypt, you know, while Moses was up in the mountain, you know, he wasn't just getting 10 commandments, he was getting more than 10 commandments, but you know, for the sake of making things sure, let's just say when he was getting the 10 commandments, you know, you had other Israelites, they were basically saying, you know, hey, let's make other idols. They asked Aaron to make a golden calf. Why? Because they were saying, oh, you know, these be the guys that brought us up out. You know, so Israel has this hard-headed, stubborn, stiff neck, you know, where they got to constantly see miracles for them to believe. Because here it is, you literally just got delivered and you already giving praises to I'm not trying to cuss, trying to find another word, a profane word, but just trying a dumb idol. You trying to give glory to a dumb idol versus, you know, here you is, you just walk through, you know, the Red Sea. None of these idols did that. You know, so that kind of, you know, lets you grasp how stubborn and stiff-necked Jake is. You know, so that's why, you know, there's Jake got to be destroyed. Just like how you had Israel wandering in the desert for 40 years. 40 years is a long ass time. You think you get your shit together at the while. You know, but what happened? The Most High said, y'all still ain't right.
My knees hurt. Molech saved
This is book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and thou shalt have good success. Verse 18, whosoever he be that doth rebel against thy commandment, and will not hearken unto thy words, and all that thou commandest him, he shall be put to death. Only be strong and of a good courage.
All we have to do is follow law, statutes, commandments. Because here it is in Deuteronomy 28. You will see all the blessings that would happen simply we just follow the law, statutes, commandments. You know what's wrong with thou shalt not murder. You know what's wrong with not loving thy neighbor. All these laws, statutes, commandments are put in place, to help govern this world, which is Israel. So what's wrong with that? So Israel, being rebellious as we usually are, we wanted to do it our way. We want to, be like the other heathen. They doing such and such. Let us do it. But the Most High gave us His laws. His laws literally are perfect. And even to this day, you have some scientists that are like, oh, we just now discovered, maybe we should wash our hands, when we touch blood. If you would have listened to Most High back then, You don't understand stuff like that. Most High not about to say something for no reason. Even if you don't understand it, you know, Most High simply made it for a reason. Even if it's like don't mix fabrics, Most High, he said it for a reason. You know, stuff like, you know, planting diverse seeds, he said it for a reason. You know, and Jake so damn stuck. It comes a lot of times it comes down to, you know, to greed, money. You know, because money can make somebody sell out, you know, sell their soul and to do things, you know, because there's so many opportunities in this world simply if, you know, you break the laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, here it is, you know, you want to be a big famous movie producer, you know, you want to be in the movies like The Rock, you know, you want to be a big giant rapper like Cardi B, you know, all the opportunities exist, but you are going to have to basically, you know, compromise yourself according to, you know, the law. So that's why, you know, it says, if you love me, keep my commandments. You know, because you can't, you can't serve, you know, the Most High and Satan at the same time. You can't have your foot in the world and then have your foot in the truth. You got to make a choice. That's why ultimately the choice comes down to the hour of temptation, which is the mark of the beast. You know, so that's going to be the one that really has to, okay, now you got to choose. And even then, there's going to be some Israelites that don't take the mark of the beast, but they still off and doing other wicked stuff, but still going to be destroyed. But when it comes down to, you know, the laws, statutes, commandments, everything is perfect and it is just beautiful. You look at this America, you got in the Bible, you got 613 laws. Okay, and some of them, you know, we don't even have to keep for our like, animal sacrifices. We don't have to do that no more because Yahweh Shai is our atonement. He's our sacrifice. You know, so here it is. You know, 613 laws that to govern the earth. Just in America, you got more than 613 laws. You know, so here it is. You want to follow, you know, all these thousands of laws in the Michigan and the Detroit and the city ordinances versus the laws that the Most High said, and everything is just perfect.
That's why we know this Black Lives Matter shit is some bullshit. They ain't with that shit. They not with it. This devil turned his radio on like 10 feet away from him to blast his music, say fuck Donald Trump, like we respect that shit. You know, like we respect him saying fuck Donald Trump and shit like that. But no, and basically his whole spirit is he didn't want this to go down anyway. That's why he never looked, he kept his eyes straight. You know, the devil is something. That's why they call him a snake, man. He's slithering. He on his belly. That's some snake shit right there. You know? But soon enough, we're gonna be blasted for that shit. And the kids, we're gonna blast that shit all in his head all day. And, you know, we're gonna put the speakers, we're gonna put some loud ass black women in his ear. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be good sometimes. But we're gonna put some African Hamites that talking out, they're gonna be in his ear talking about fuck Donald Trump. All right, just a little something.
This is the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 12, verse 6. It says, the words of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace of earth, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Yahweh, thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
Can you read that one more time? I was really distracted looking.
Book of Psalms, chapter 12, verse 6. It says, the words of the Lord Yahweh are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Yahweh, thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
And I promise you, nothing, no brothers can make the same testimony when you keep the law that you command. It's like you get better understanding. You know, you feel better. You know, everything's stuff start becoming more clear. And then on top of that, here's the thing: when you start keeping the law, statutes, commandments, Satan start messing with you. But then again, when you can overcome the obstacles that Satan throws at you, that builds character. So now you have testimonies on how to help other brothers. So you really learn to grow, because here you're going to have what's the word? Peer pressure from other people. Like let's say you was in the world, and let's say you was in the let's say smoking weed, or let's say what's some other worldly stuff that Jake be into? That robbing, stealing, all this stuff. So now here it is. You learn about this truth. Now you understand. What the love of God is. You got to teach the law, statutes, commandments, and now your same buddies gonna come over. They're gonna want to, to peer pressure you to do the same stuff. So now you have to build character, like in order to say no, I'm not doing that. That builds character, and then when you start to build that character, people can see, okay, this guy's changed. Something's different about this guy. And that right there alone can inspire other people. Because I promise you, like I was a knucklehead in the world, and then as I grew and changed, my family literally sees a difference about me. To the point where my relatives and my family, like literally, like they damn near, like with a straight face, I could come in, everybody just get scared. They just like, as if I'm about like to punch somebody, give them a wedgie or anything like that. They just literally just get scared, because some of them actually seen me out, took pictures and stuff like that. So they understand, what I stand for. And then when you stand for something, you say, I'm not gonna let this happen. And then when you basically that's goes in like righteous indignation. You stand up. You don't allow certain stuff to happen. Because you understand the Most High, is with you. So stuff like that. Taking the stance, that builds character. So then people are like, okay, I can't peer pressure this guy. I'm gonna let him have to be who he is. And then most people, you understand, most people, families, at first they had this, you in a cult, stuff like this, and after a while they're like, okay, all right, he's different. Even my grandmother literally said, she just reached and said, for the first time, she was like, God put you out here for a purpose. And people in the world, because here it is, we're the light of the world. The world, even if we not in our garments, if we just about our day, something's different about that guy. I don't know what it is. He got that anointed on him. Stuff like that. It's something about them. They might not know what it is, but they see something that's different, special. Maybe they feel like when they're around you, there's a hedge around them too, and nothing bad happens. But when Jake is somewhat in tune to, a little bit, they understand there's something special about it. Even if you don't say, shalom, or they don't even know, they know something special or different about you. I forgot what, were you still reading it? I kind of got carried away.
I got a precept.
Let's come go ahead for a second. He ain't got anything.
This is Titus, the 3rd chapter, verse, I'll start at 1. It says, put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving divers lusts and pleasure, living in malice and envy, hateful, and hating one another. But after that, the kindness and love of Yahweh, our Savior, toward men appeared, not by works of righteousness, which we have done, but according to his mercy, he saved us by the washing of regeneration and renewing by the Holy Ghost.
And
renewing of the Holy Ghost.
And that goes into, being born again. That's why, this is called being born again, because it's literally like you born literally again, like you a whole nother person. That's why, Nicodemus, he couldn't really, he thought like, how a person get born, they go back inside their mama coochie and come back out again, being simple. But literally, when you see the character of somebody, put it like this, Saul's name was changed to Paul. Now he's an extreme example of, he was literally in the world, killing people. It also gives a beautiful example of the mercy of the Most High, because here it is, he was killing, the men of the Most High, and here the Most High used the same person that was murdering, killing. This pertains right to that. Okay, go ahead.
This is it.
God,
this is 1 Timothy 1 and beginning at 12. It says, and I thank Mashiach Yahushua our Lord, who have enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry, who was before a blasphemer and a persecutor and injurious, but I obtained mercy because I did it ignorantly in unbelief. And the grace of our Lord was exceeding abundant with faith and love which is in Mashiach Yahweh Shai. This is a faithful saying worthy of all acceptation, that Mashiach Yahweh Shai came into the world to save sinners, of whom I am chief. Howbeit, for this cause I obtain mercy, that in me first Yahweh Shai Mashiach might show forth all long suffering for a pattern to them which should hereafter believe on him to life everlasting. So he was saying that he was made a pattern. You look up that word pattern, well, you know what the word pattern means. You know, he's made an example. You know, to those that afterwards will believe by way of seeing him and how he came out of the world and the things that he did to persecute the church. Basically, he's an example of repentance in the long suffering and mercy of Yahweh Shai.
And there's so much stuff that, because what ultimately happens is you know experiencing the world differently. Your experiences with your friends are different. Your experiences with your family is different. Your experiences with everybody else, and when you were in the world, your experiences with them different. You know, they might say, you weird. Some people might think you off or you crazy or you join the cult. You know, but the thing is that here's can you hold anything? Real quick, and then I'm gonna get back to you, Dwight. Can you get Ecclesiastes 7:1 real quick? You know, because when you make a huge change, your experiences with people is going to be much different. Go ahead. 7:1.
Ecclesiastes 7:1, a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of one death than the day of one birth.
Right, so Scripture says a good name is better than precious ointment, which means your reputation. Because here it is, Paul had a terrible reputation because he was literally killing. But then again, like the Most High used him, to change. So now his reputation went from being, a murderer to now he's, basically has a beautiful testimony. So now that's his new reputation, because he's building it. Because you understand that, damn, I really messed up. So that's why you're going to even try even harder and fight. The more wicked you are, you're like, damn, I really done messed up in the world. So you're going to fight even that much harder. And then when you're fighting that much harder, even if somebody don't believe in what you believe in, they're going to be like, okay, this guy is diligent. He believes what he's saying. He's really basically a full time in that. And then that right there, you gain, respect and reputation off of that. That's why I said, I had him bring that, good name is better than precious ointment. Because if you have a good, reputation, when certain stuff happens, you don't get accused of it. Because like let's say if a bank got robbed, and then there was like 8 people around, but one person, was known to be, have a criminal record, and the other people, let's say, they didn't get down like that. Off your reputation alone, they'd be like, nah, he ain't even did that. But this other guy, I wouldn't put it past him. That's why the Scripture says, a good name is better than precious ointment, because, your reputation can be used for you, or it can be used against you. Right. So it's about how you conduct yourself. And when people see how you conduct yourself differently, they can't bring up a whole bunch of stuff like you did in the past. Oh, well, you in the truth, but you used to smoke weed or used to do this. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I used to smoke, but now I don't. So now here it is, you're talking about stuff that I used to do, and I'm telling you about stuff that you're currently doing. So when you start doing stuff like that, people start, they get cut. Because this word, this sword really cuts you. It really gets down deep. A person can say, oh, it is, but this doesn't cut. Nothing cuts like the Scripture right here. Right. So people can really lose sleep, think about how can I counter stuff like that. They're like, man, forget it, man. Something different about you. They just leave you alone.
Just real quick to back up what you were saying, how basically the Lord set up men in the ancient world to be examples to us today. Dealing with Paul, Acts chapter 9, verse 19. It says, Then Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he hath done to thy saints at Jerusalem. So they were talking about Paul. It says, And here he hath authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. But the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. So the Lord was telling Ananias how, even though Paul was doing all those things, he's going to be a chosen he's going to be a chosen vessel, and how he was going to be used as an example to the rest of the church. And when you read throughout the rest of the scriptures, you come across many different men from many different aspects of life who all came into the grace of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, so what that should put in you is a feeling of hope if you keep going. You have men. Hey, King David. When King David started out, what was he? If anybody know, what did King David start out as?
The shepherd.
The shepherd, the sheep herder. That's today. You in the factory, fucking closing water bottles. That's a nothing. That's a lower a lower type of life. He went from being a shepherd to a king over a realm. All right, you take another man.
Peter. They were
fishers. There's fishers.
And when you go into
that's a 9 to 5.
Yep. Elder Yashwamba went into that just a little bit in the last video he did about profanity. He said that a fisherman was basically a rough type person. A fisherman wasn't, and during that time period, a fisherman wasn't the type of dude to have on the freshest J's or the freshest Gucci t-shirt. He was rough, man. And he said that on the seas, those seas in Jerusalem that they was fishing on, they was rough. So they was rougher, tougher dudes, man. You wasn't gonna see them fucking walk around and modern day freshest Jordans with some Nike sandals on, with a fresh tee or whatever. These were men who had calluses on their hands. In other words, man, they set up to be authority of the scriptures on the planet, man. Set up to be the rulers of the next kingdom. In other words, man, just rough men, man. That's hey, the Lord can take a man from what you would say dirt or mud and mold him to be something special to him.
I gotta appreciate
Rags to riches.
This is Proverbs 20:8. A king that sitteth in the throne of judgment scatters away all evil with his eyes.
So now, here we are. As the Most High said, He's King of Kings. So that would mean, how willing we are to live. We're all those kings. So read it one more time.
This is Proverbs 20:8. A king that sitteth in the throne of judgment scatter away all evil with his eyes. So
simply, somebody just looking at their eyes, they just get scared of you. You're not the one to play with. Simply just when you sit in the throne of, basically a throne of judgment, because that's when, because they can see the righteousness in your eyes, because the eyes are the window of your soul. That's why, when you about to fight somebody, animals, they look in each other's eyes. You can look, whoever looks away, they understand, okay, no, this guy's scared, stuff like that. So literally, people literally can see something, different about you. Grab yours.
This is Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Do all things without murmurings and disputings, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world.
So conduct yourself well, and you have a good reputation. And when you do that, the Most High is going to be pleased with that. Because here it's one thing, to do eye service, when somebody else is, watching. Look at me, I'm donating, to Black Lives Matter or COVID relief. But the Most High eyes, He sees everything. So it's about having, integrity. Doing stuff when somebody ain't even necessarily watching. Because if you truly, walking after the ways of the Most High can make, your enemies become at peace with you. Right. Also, the Most High can make it, to where you have a truly enemy. The Most High can have it to where the Most High, either kills your enemy, or the Most High can do something to your enemy. What happened to the dude, you said, I think a family member died or a daughter died when you get your car fixed, something like that.
Oh, Malak, you remember the lady at the desk, her nephew got hurt. woman.
Yeah,
While
you
we-
talking about
She don't work there no more.
And the Most High have it to where you see it, or the Most High simply put a vision or a dream on your enemy, and it's scared of living shit out of them. You might not know why they change towards you, or why they respect you more, or why they standoffish about you. But the Most High easily can do that. Just like how in Daniel the Lion's Den.
She got that phone call right when we was there too. It's like, well, she got the phone call that our nephew got murdered right when we when we got there, because they was bullshitting with repairing the brother's car for a very long time. And we went back up there, finally she had got the call right as we was there. She started getting sad and shook up and shit, so she basically sped shit up. Yeah, Lord, hey, you got it.
And,
That's cool.
but also the scripture says, basically when you pray to the Most High, if you basically sin and you just out here doing whatever the hell, your sins are abomination. So here it is. Let's say you praying to God, oh Jesus Christ, praying in Caesar Borgia, and you got a blunt in your other hand, and right afterwards you about to commit adultery. You praying, that's an abomination. But when you live in your life in alignment with the Most High, then guess what? The Most High, because then the Most High says He listens to it, He hears it. Okay, all right. I'm gonna answer this prayer. But if you just out here, wilding, whatever, that heaven above your head, will be brass, and the earth below you with iron. But ain't no prayers, gonna come through. You ain't gonna be blessed. I already got something real quick. Then, what else?
They got some. Or Dion got some. He can hold it.
Everybody can hold it.
It come back. You go ahead.
This is concerning living righteous. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8.
Ain't no rules to this shit, I ain't playing fair. Ain't no drugs in the room, I ain't staying there. Only came to the club, I got paid in there. Free my nigga jail, I already had that waiting there.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 1, and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do accordingly to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
All right, we brought that up again, but it's scary how to bring it out again. But basically, we're supposed to meditate on the law, like Deuteronomy chapter 6, and I want to say verse 1. Oh, yeah, yep. Yeah. Basically, we're supposed to, basically have the law, in our inner part, we basically supposed to be talking about it, day and night, we're supposed to have, on our fronts where we remind people, brothers of it, have our fringes that remind brothers to keep the law, statutes, commandments, and, but by the way, you dress, you understand, all right, this person is conducting himself, righteously.
If I can say something for you, what does being set up as a king of Israel, what do they have to do to be established? What's one thing that the king has to do? What you say? I can't hear you.
They have to write out the entire law.
Yeah, they got to write it. And what do you say? As a king, if you were to be a king of Israel, you have to learn either the law, statutes, commandments, and write them out. And that shows you the importance of the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And the reason for that is because if you read those, write it out, you will memorize it. It comes to your mind. So when you're ruling, you will have that judgment, or to be able to put forth judgment. You'll be able to go through the law and be able to give righteous judgment rather than just assuming or winging it, just winging it. That's why it's the king, and that's how you know the kings of Israel was wicked as hell, man, because they knew what to do, man. They knew the right ways to do and knew what they're supposed to do, but they didn't. They went wholesale against it. Jeroboam knew not to set up no goddamn calves, man. He set up 2 of them. He didn't just set up 1 calf. He was like, I gotta step it up a little bit. I'ma set up 2. He knew he wasn't supposed to do that shit. They knew what to do and what not to do, man. That's why they were punished so harshly and so fiercely. That's why I believe it was Zedekiah who got his eyes plucked out.
Yeah.
And the last thing he seen before his eyes was plucked out, his sons got killed right before him. So the last thing that he seen with his own bodily eyes was his kids getting killed, and then he was thrown in prison. Why? Because he kept going back and forth. Oh, I'm gonna be righteous when the prophet around, but when all these other people are around, I'm gonna listen to them and be wicked as hell. So what the Lord do? He fucked them up, man. That shows you the importance of the ways, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Even someone that's eating pork, not eating pork, the Lord will jack you up. That may seem simple, but it's important, man. If you really think about it, eating pork landed us in this situation. Commit that, because that just starts a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, well, if I eat pork and the Lord didn't jack me up, well, let me smoke a blunt. Well, hey, the Lord didn't jack me up. Oh, let me worship another God. Oh, the Lord didn't jack me up. So it's just a spiral effect, man. One little simple thing that you may think is simple can cause a ripple effect. Exactly. Domino effect. Yep.
This is Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So, that was the point of the law, the statutes, and commandments to begin with, because not only did the Lord chose us, made us separate from all these other nations on the planet Earth. The Lord gave us something near and dear. He gave us a heritage. He gave us something that actually would make us distinct. You know what I'm saying? Make us really stand out in front of all these other nations. Because it's, something actually is making we actually have a power source. All these other nations, they have idols. They have empty, vain things that they believe in. They got things that they can prop up and then worship right behind it. You know what I'm saying? We got an actual power that established everything, that created everything. You know what I'm saying? Which you would think that's who I need to be listening to. He's the one that, ultimately gave us life. He gave us understanding of all things. He gave Adam the understanding of everything that we see. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But yeah, our people, we basically forsake that. We take that for granted. And that's basically why we are in the situation we are in now. Because, we always expect the Heavenly Father to just look out for us, when we down, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? It ain't cut like that. You have to basically have to be obedient. This thing is about being obedient, doing what the Lord told us to do. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do that, if you can't, that's just simple. If you, the father of a household, you grew up and happen to have a father in your life, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to bow, by those rules, by the head of the house. You know the order, the Heavenly Father set up. It's basically the Most High, Yahweh Shai, all right, the man, the woman, the child. So, if you're, living in your father's household, all right, he set certain parameters, certain rules in play. You got to go by those rules until you, are perfected or grow up as a man, have a household of your own. But until then, you got to abide by those rules. The Heavenly Father, right, who is the Father and Spirit, it's the same concept. You know what I'm saying? He the one that established the earth. All right, he established us as a nation, chose us out of all these other nations, gave us law, statutes, commandments, all right, to show our wisdom, to show our understanding. And yet, we throw that, just throw it behind us like, oh, that ain't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? We can do this all by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no power. Let's do what these other nations, let's worship after they guys, because, I don't know, they just think it's cool, or I don't know what it is, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it's stupidity at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? And that's why the Lord got us right back out here again as a sign, as a wonder, all right, to warn our people, all right, to give them basically that last moment of repenting, of getting right, getting their shit together, right, of seeking the Heavenly Father. You know what I'm saying? Why you still get that chance? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, whether anybody believe it or not, America is gonna be destroyed, man. This place is gonna come to an end. Every other kingdom has came to an end. America ain't no different, right? America don't get no special recipe to continue on and on, all right? What they got? You know,
They got Trump. You know, make America great again.
White Lives
Nah,
They got Kerry.
but nah, they ain't got no recipe. You know what I'm saying? Even though they follow after all these old world nations, you know, all these different kingdoms, they follow after their ways. But hey, every kingdom, all right, that's come about, all right, from Egypt to Babylon, all right, to Persia, the Medes, the Greeks, the Romans, they've all had an end, they all had a downfall, all right, and America's gonna be no different. That's what he said.
Isaiah chapter 24 verses
You know what? I got it.
9 and 10.
It's a lot. Let me grab this real fast. Shot. This is Nahum 3:19. It says, "There is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the root of thee shall clap their hands over thee. For upon whom have not thy wickedness passed continually?" So it's no healing for your bruise, man. There's nothing that you can do to heal the economy. There's nothing that you can do to stop this place from being destroyed. It's written. You know, and whatsoever the Lord hath spoken, it will come to pass. So it's set up for this place to be destroyed. The only thing is, the Most High Heavenly Father does everything in measurements. You know, He's not just going to, have it destroyed before certain prophecies are fulfilled by this place. For an example, they have to push the mark of the beast upon the whole world, through this place. It was set up for them to afflict the children of Israel. And then, within that captivity, for the children of Israel to come back into their right state of mind, and for the prophets to be raised up that were of old to rebuke you, and to tell you of all of the things that you've done, and to speak of all of your sins and your atrocities, and to speak of the things that you have done within this place and around the world. Pretty much to lift your skirt over your face, man, and expose your nakedness. And that's what's happening. That's the reason why they want to do away with the internet. That's the reason why they're putting together legislation and executive orders so that they can be prepared and making an insurrection against the men of the Lord. But there's nothing that you can do, even if you remove us off of the streets, all right? And the Lord still is going to make it to where your ass go down, man.
That's right.
And this word have reached out. That's the reason why you're seeing so many things transpire. You're seeing riots. You're seeing looting. You're seeing wars and rumors of wars. You're seeing nations gather up against nations. Just last week, you had India and China, clash right on the border. That's Matthew the 24th chapter. You're seeing strange weather events. There was a blood moon June 5th. These are all of the things that are happening. Why? Because the Lord has set up the prophets to prophesy these things before they would happen. And to show that this place is coming to an end, man.
That's right.
You got Black Lives Matters out here protesting, but then you got them also joining this thing with lesbian rights. This ain't nothing but a fucking setup.
That's right.
The whole Black Lives movement was funded by George Soros.
That's right.
But then they sent out the so-called Black Lives Matter, but then they have some Edomites go and bust out windows and start rioting and looting. Why? So that they can tie that to so-called Negroes. Why? Because they want to make an insurrection against the men of the Lord and against His people, man. And guess what? The majority of people you see out here is women.
That's right.
That's not Black Lives Matter. That's another shit.
Wait till those troops come out here, man.
That's right.
Black trans lives matter. That's what that shit say.
Exactly.
But look, you got Black Lives Matter, but you see more Edomites than you see kids.
That's right.
That say her lives matter.
God.
They talking about themselves, bro.
God.
Yeah, they talking about themselves. Hey, they don't care.
Fast, look at the sign. You know?
They got one little Black Lives Matter sign.
This shit is.
All they doing is blocking traffic and changing.
Look, this is not
Say her name. Babylon. Babylon. It say her name. Babylon. The mother of all hoes.
That's right.
But look, this is the reason that this place is about to be destroyed.
That's right.
This is a city of confusion, man. All right, this place ain't nothing but a goddamn cesspool of confusion, man.
That's right.
Look, then you got the. I got a scripture. Can I get one out real quick? Can I get one out? This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. It says right, because they had a whole bunch of lesbian signs up there, man. Black Lives Matter, Her Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. They don't care about any. It's not about anybody's lives. It's about what they want. Our lives have been destroyed and corrupted every day. Take a picture of yourself.
That's right.
Right? Come on, man. They just love cameras. They just in love with their cameras, man. Right? Man. Okay. All right. This is
No, you Israelites? Who you with? Oh, okay. You passing out brochures? Yes, sir. Yeah, we're with Great Millstone. Got GMS.
this is 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest the part of the signs past, which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he had made. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're seeing signs pass. You know some of the signs, was that 2nd Ezra 9th chapter?
9:1.
You start at 1?
Yep.
God. We're seeing the signs pass. Can somebody grab Matthew the 24th chapter? Start at verse 3.
And then if I keep going.
Yep. And these signs are indicators that guess what? We're at the end of the demise of Esau's system.
That's right.
If you look at these protests are confusion. They don't know who they want to hate. And then they got all of this different shit that they're protesting, but certain things that they're protesting contradict one another, man. So this place is confusion. And the scriptures say what? It says that a house divided against itself can't stand.
That's right.
Esau is falling.
Right, let me continue reading, please. One more. Well, one
Now,
more.
I think you can take it down to like 7.
Take it down. Somebody, I can't see. There it goes. It said, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people
And it says
in the world.
same thing in Matthew and Luke. So, which goes to show you that the Apocrypha is on point. Because it's agreeing with what the scriptures say. When you shall see earthquakes of the people. You got earthquakes that are happening everywhere. You know? Which is a sign and an indicator. The Most High Heavenly Father deals with prophecies. And these prophecies, they're pretty much like, let's say for instance you playing a video game. And then you get to a certain checkpoint. It's a checkpoint to let you know where you at within the game, man. So these signs are just checkpoints to let you know that we're in the end. Go ahead.
Okay, come. Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
And I was talking to a Jake yesterday at my job, and the Jake was like, you know, I was showing him certain things concerning prophecy. And he like, man, it seemed like the Bible predicted things before they happened. So I showed him the scripture in Isaiah 46 and 10, saying how the Lord said these things from the beginning, which shows you that it couldn't just be, you know, regular man just writing this book. You know how they say, oh, that book was written by men. The Most High Heavenly Father moved certain men with the Holy Spirit to write down things before they ever came to pass. Right. So that when they do come to pass, you will know that these things are happening of the Most High Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and that He's the one that's orchestrating things. When you go into the book of Revelation 19th chapter, it calls Yahweh omnipotent. Look at what it means to be omnipotent. He that has a sway over all things, which means that He's controlling all of the things in this earth, man. All of the people that are deceived, that can't get the truth, you know, that's going out here to these protests, you know, after this, they've been protesting since the 60s, man. And what has changed? Ain't shit changed. The same things that have been going on are going on.
Right, and then one more thing I need to say is, we've been protesting against this kingdom, man. How we've been protesting the downfall of this place by the word, man. By the word, you know. We've been, they know, that's why they release the vibration going on in this earth at this moment, man, that, they know their time is coming down because what? The Most High is speaking. You can see the uproar of the people, the things that's being said. The world is collapsing in the face of E and the rest of his nation, man. You know, time is about the time that they have is at a minimum, man. They think they're gonna fill their belly, but look, the Most High got it ready for them to be started, man.
Appreciate God, that's right. And these signs are also a marker to let you know that Esau is at his end. Because when you go over to Matthews, which Baba Kashak, can you read this? And then we'll jump right back into that. Go to Matthews 24:3.
Book of Matthews 24:3, and as he sat upon the mountain of Olives and dispersed, the disciples come upon him privately, saying, "Tell us when shall that these things be? When and what shall be the signs that the come of thy coming and of the end of the world?"
So what shall be the signs of that coming and of the end of the world? The things that you're seeing now. These are those exact same signs that the Lord said will happen prior to his coming, man. You know? Go ahead, keep reading.
And Yahushua assured and answered and said unto them, "Take heed, and no man be."
Take your time, man.
Decovered. What's that? Deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying that I am Christ.
Yes, you got many coming in the name of Yahushua. You got one dude saying that he was the Holy Spirit, man. That God said, comforter. You know? And guess what? He died in prison with nobody to mourn him, man. I don't even think they were able to get his body because of the whole COVID-19 thing that was going on. So you got many saying that they're the anointed, you know, but are not the anointed. The next time Yahushua comes, how is he coming? And he's coming in the sky for all to see him, man.
That's right.
One day we're going to look up and guess what? That rainbow flag is going to be on fire. But where that airplane is in the sky, we're gonna see a fleet of chariots, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I am Christ and shall where my thumb is at. Shall deceive many. And saying
the only ones that they won't be able to deceive is the elect. Because it also says within the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, it says, if they may be able to deceive the elect, you can't deceive the elect. Why? Because the elect are sealed. Go ahead.
And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars.
Wars and rumors of wars? A rumor of war, and we've been talking about World War III. You know, since before we came out here, the apostles been talking about World War III. It's not that it's not going to happen. Although, you know, you got certain people who are impatient, you know, or they need a sign. So they want it to happen immediately. It's a build-up into that because there's certain things that has to happen. Like, for an example, the mark of the beast, which is close to being implemented, it's already here, but it's close to them implementing this thing worldwide and forcing everybody to get it.
That's right.
Which they can use a second wave of the coronavirus to do so. But that's another thing that's something. The major thing that has to happen before the before the World War III happens.
Precept.
Go ahead.
Ye not be troubled, for all those things must come to pass. But the end is not yet.
Go ahead.
For nation shall rise against nation.
Nation shall rise against nation. All right, and if you pay attention to not just your cartoon news networks, you know, CNN, But if you look at actually alternative news, if you look at alternative news, you will see the things that are going on in the world and the conflicts that are happening between these nations. These whole protests and all of these killings and things that are going on, these ain't nothing but a psyop. The whole coronavirus thing wasn't nothing but a psyop. This is to basically take your attention off of the fact that the American economy is going to shit, that it's circling the drain. It's only so long before they can uphold that American dollar any further, man. And it's going to collapse. Go ahead.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in devouring places.
In diverse places. So famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. You know, and things are there's gonna be even more pestilence that come. There's gonna be famines that come. There's gonna be famine because when he implements this new system, which is the market of the beast system, you're gonna have people that aren't able to buy or sell because they don't have the RFID chip. So they won't be able to eat. Unless they be men of the Lord, part of the elect, and Yahweh Shem will provide for them. But there's more famines that are coming. There's more pestilence and diseases that are coming. This was just the first wave. Go ahead.
All those are the beginnings of sorrows.
All of those are the beginning of sorrows. So these are the signs that we're looking for. Now, when you go back up to verse 3, and it says, what is the sign of thy coming, and what is the end of the world? Well, the end of the world is synonymous with the fall of Esau Edom. Can you grab 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter? I know you got a precept, and I know you got a precept. Oh, you just dropped it?
Okay, I have it.
Okay, well, you got it. Go ahead. Go ahead, bring it out.
2 Ezra 6 and verse, where you want me to start at, 7?
It started at 8.
2 Ezra 6 and 8, and he said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau was born of him. Who was Jacob? Jacob is our forefather, all right? Esau is the forefather of the so-called white man, all right? Go ahead.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning that follows. See, our kingdom comes after this one goes down. Right now, we're still oppressed. We're still in captivity. If we wasn't in captivity, then that means that Esau will be down. He will be under our feet. Real fast, grab Daniel the 7th chapter, start at verse 14.
I was already in Daniel 7 and 14.
Yep.
Daniel chapter Daniel chapter 7 and 14. You want me to start at 13 or 14?
Start at 13.
Yep. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. This dominion is an everlasting dominion.
Are all nations, people, and kindred serving Yahweh Shai right now? Are they bowing down to Yahweh Shai right now? No, they're not. So that kingdom was given unto him, but a day is coming when Yahweh Shai is going to come and take that kingdom. He's going to come and take it, and he's going to rend it for Esau, Edom, and for all of the other kings that are moving over. Grab Revelation, the 19th chapter. Go ahead.
Still in verse 14.
And also Isaiah 63. Keep going.
Revelation 19th chapter. It says his dominion is an everlasting dominion.
It says his dominion is an everlasting dominion. You think that Edomites are going to be killing Jake in Yahweh Shai's kingdom, man? You got Negroes talking about they're free. And what do you mean you're free? You know, well, you're free in the mind, aren't you? Yeah, you're free in the mind, but your body is still in captivity, man. And then a lot of you niggas still ain't free because you're in bondage to those strange philosophies, man. That's right. You ain't free yet. Go ahead.
It says, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that shall not be destroyed.
That shall not be destroyed. Keep going.
It says, verse 15, I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things. These these great beasts, which are four kings who shall arise out of the earth.
Yeah, the Babylonians, the Persian and the Medes, the Greeks and the Romans. Right now, we're still in the Roman captivity. This is the Roman captivity, man. This is just the second leg of the Roman Empire. America is the capital of the Roman Empire. Go ahead.
Verse 18, it says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Oh, wait. Oh, it said that the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Well, the saints of the Most High haven't taken the kingdom yet. So you're not liberated. You're not free. You're still in captivity, in bondage to the so-called white man. Do me a favor. Go to Genesis, the 27th chapter, verse 39.
39.
Yep.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 39. It says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above.
Keep going. Yeah.
Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Read it one more time.
Genesis 27 and 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
When did Esau begin to break the yoke that we had upon him from off his neck?
During the time of King Solomon.
During the time of Solomon. Because when you go into the history before Solomon, when David, his father, was ruling, he put garrisons in Esau, Edom. And he had it to where that they were serving us, that they were tributaries unto us. Basically, they were servants and slaves. So when Solomon sinned against the Most High Heavenly Father, and what did the Lord do? He raised up an adversary, and that's when the Edomites started to break that yoke off and to come back into power. That's the reason why when you go into that history, going into Esther, Esther, you had Edomites that were pretty much trying to take the kingdom away from the Greeks so that they can be into power. The beginning of Esau starting to come back into power goes back to the Greek Empire. That's also, go to our Revelation, the 13th chapter real fast. Revelation 13 and 2.
This is Revelation 13 and 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seed and great authority.
So what this is talking about going back towards when you go and it says the leopard. That leopard is dealing with the Greek captivity. That's dealing with the Greeks. All right. Then you got the mouth as a lion. That's dealing with London. Then you got the feet of the bear. That's dealing with Russia, because Russia is going to be the end of this place. They're going to be the end of America. But highlighting that part where it talks about the leopard, once Esau was established as a Greek empire, that was the beginning of them coming back into power and ruling over the world. And when they began to rule over the world, what did it say within the book of Maccabees? It says that wickedness was increasing the earth, man. That shows you that these people are the children of Cain all over again. Because when the children of Cain was living back then before the flood, what happened? The earth was full of corruption. It was full of violence. It was full of matter of fact, go to Genesis 6 and 11. And I know I'm kind of all over the place, but hey, hopefully this hitting home, man.
Genesis 6 and 11, the earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence.
The earth was corrupt before the Most High Heavenly Father, and the earth was filled with violence, which shows you that that same spirit that was within the children of Cain is the same spirit within Esau, Edom, man. So going back to the Greek Empire, because I'm making a point. The Greek Empire was translated into the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was the height of Esau being in power. What happened was the Roman Empire fell, but then it came back and they got established again. Eventually to set up this country which is known as America, man. So this is that same dragon and that beast system that was ruling over back then is ruling over now, man.
That's right.
And who's gonna come and take it down? Because we're in captivity under them. And you got a bunch of people say, no, I'm not in captivity, I'm free. Okay, you can think that you're free now, that's fine. There's a quote, I forget exactly the individual's name, but he says the best slave is the slave that thinks that he's free, man.
That's right.
The best slave is the slave that thinks that he's free. Why do you think you got a birth certificate? Why do you think you got an ID? Why do you think you got a social security card? If you was free, you wouldn't need that. That's a birth certificate ain't nothing but a bond receipt. And when you go back to 1933, I want to say that was Roosevelt, if I'm not mistaken. Roosevelt pretty much signed into law that all things that you possess or all biological possessions belongs into the U.S. government, man. What's a biological possession? It's you. It's your body. So now you have to have a birth certificate to register yourself. And unless you got a birth certificate, a social security card, or an ID, guess what? You can't work. If you can't work, then you can't eat. They're about to do the same thing with the mark of the beast, man. Go ahead. Go to Revelation 13 real fast. You jump down to verse 16. Anybody had a precept?
I got what you call.
Okay, what's that? Isaiah?
Revelation 19.
Isaiah 24 verses 9 and 10.
Go ahead, bring that out.
Okay, look at Isaiah chapter 24 verses 9 and 10. Thou shalt not drink wine with a strong drink, shall be bitter to them that
let's come back to that one. Okay. Go ahead and grab what you got.
This is Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called.
We're gonna come back to that one too. Okay, let's go with this Revelation 13.
This is Revelation 13 and 16.
Matter of fact, start up at 12.
13 and 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast.
So go up to 11, slide.
Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb.
Yeah, that beast is talking about America, coming into power, man. That's talking about America being established. The two horns represents the Democrats and the Republicans. The plebeians and the patricians, that's what they were called back in Rome. But now they're called the Democrats and the Republicans. And they like to push on you that it's two separate parties, but actually they're part of the same beast. So here it is, you got, and Apostle Ramlach just brought this out, you got the so-called Black Lives Matter movement. And there was an Edomite woman who wanted to donate to the movement.
Yeah.
So when she donated to the movement and she started to do research to find out where the money was going, she found out that it was being funneled back to the Democrats. But here it is, you got the BLM out here protesting, and they're so-called doing peaceful protests. But then they'll also send in agent provocateurs, Esau Edom, to break down and to bust down shit. Why? Because Esau wants, to tie all of their racial tension and violence and what they consider to be, violence. They want to tie that back to Jake so that they can lay blame on Jake, and so that they can come up with other laws and they can come up with different, things against Jake. That's the reason why, real fast, grab our Psalms 94 and 20. The scripture said that he frameth laws out of mischief. Esau would do stuff to provoke you to get upset at him, so that when you do it and you finally do it, he could be justified with doing something against you, even though he's wrong. He's in the wrong.
Psalms 94 and 20, shall the throne of inquiring
iniquity
have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischiefs by a law.
Yeah, so the scriptures say that they frame of mischief by law. Here it is, they come up with new laws. Here it is. they'll cause disorder, they'll cause chaos, they'll do something violent against you, just so that you can react, so that they can pass a new law against you. And all of this is going to culminate into them pushing the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. Go ahead. You say you got a precept. Go ahead.
Just for off of what he brought out, according to the law, Leviticus chapter 19 and 14, it says, "Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shalt fear thy power. I am the Lord." So basically, you saw Edom. He sets up a stumbling block before the Israelites. He puts them in a position to go ahead and sin, knowing that it's wickedness. It's going to separate us from our power, so they'll have the ability to come in and do more damage to us. So the Heavenly Father is going to pay them back ultimately.
God, but Esau does the same thing, you know, to pretty much pass new laws and legislation against the people. And the next thing that's coming, you know, is eventually they're going to bring forth something which this COVID-19 is playing into it, was something to make it to where people have to mandatorily get the RFID chip to pretty much live within the society. Go ahead.
This is back midway through Revelation 13:11. He had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Yeah, because he comes off like he's a lamb. He comes off like he's peaceful. He comes off like he's doing stuff for your benefit, you know, to pretty much, you know, make things easier for you and to help you out. You know, for an example, we need people to stay at home and stay safe, you know, because we're trying to protect you and save lives. But all the while, behind the scenes, he's the one that's coming up with this chaos so that he can bring forth his order through the RFID chip. Go ahead. Yeah. But it says that he spake as a dragon. Hold on now, you can't just jump in. Yep. It says that he spake as a dragon. When you go into that word dragon, the word there goes back to Dracon in the Greek language. When you go into Dracon and you do research on a particular man named Dracon, he came up with certain laws of legislation, which the penalty of it was to kill people, was to put them to death, even for petty crimes. You hungry and you steal an apple, guess what? You get put to death for stealing that apple. You know, that's the same energy and vibration that Esau is coming in today. And Dracon was a Greek legislator. The Greeks translated it to the Romans. That's the reason why within the Roman Empire they spoke Greek, they spoke Latin, they worship the same gods, they worship the same deities. These are the same people, so therefore they come within that same energy. Go ahead.
Exercise of all the power of the first beast before him, because of the earth and them which dwell therein, to worship the first beast.
So he causing them to worship the first beast, which was the Roman Empire. That's the reason why you got the botanical system, you know, it's based off of Latin. You got the human body and anatomy. Guess what? The different body parts are named after Latin. You got certain, you got pretty much within the core systems, they speak Latin. You go to school to be a lawyer, guess what? You got to learn Latin. You're dealing with their core system, you got to know Latin, which they'll call certain things legalese, but they got these different Latin phrases. For an example, let me think of one. You got subpoena ducis tecum. It's something along the lines of that, man. So? Okay, you know you Israelite?
Yes, sir.
Hey, who are the real Israelites?
Oh, so the children of Abraham.
Or who?
Us people who are speaking before each other today.
Okay, so we're the seed of Abraham. Is the so-called white man the seed of Abraham?
No, yes, sir. The original man of earth.
Okay, well, guess what? The so-called white man came out of Isaac, which his name was Esau. So guess what? He is a child of Abraham, but he's not the chosen seed, man.
Yes, sir.
So you got to do a little bit more research.
That is the truth.
Yep.
I agree with you, my brother.
All right, now take care, bro. So
I'm not allowed to. All right, cool. You guys, brothers, have a great
all right, take care, brother. Yep.
Did you learn anything from me, my son?
Go ahead.
Did you learn who I was? Oh, don't worry. You still love you, man.
and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven.
Yeah, and that's going back to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. When this devil, he did a great wonder, and he made fire come down from heaven, which pretty much terrified everybody on the planet Earth because they never seen anything like that at that point in time. But yet this devil want to claim that pretty much he's peaceful and all of that. We know the truth concerning the so-called white man. We know that he's a devil. We know that he's the wickedest man upon the planet Earth. We know that the world doesn't have peace because of him, because he took peace away from the world. Go ahead.
Coming down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do.
And guess what? These nations are being terrified of this man. That's the reason why they were moving a certain way, but now they're changing their spirit. These nations are starting to buck up against Esau, Edom. They're starting to buck up against America. They're starting to buck up against NATO. And why are they bucking up? Because now they have that same technology. If you go into Joel, the 3rd chapter, it tells you it tells you that they will beat their swords into their plowshares into swords. They will beat them into pruning hooks, because these nations are gonna use those nuclear missiles to reap this place, man. Because the harvest is almost green. The harvest is almost ready. Go ahead.
Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by his sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
The image of the beast isn't dealing with the white image of Cesare Borgia, the picture that they're pushing as Jesus Christ. The image of the beast is causing these nations to worship that Roman Empire system, man. Go ahead. Which America is pushing on all the world. Go ahead.
And he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor.
Which first of all, Salakia, let me make this point. Which every time that you hear this broke out, it's the same thing that's being said and reiterated. And within America, they got what? They got the president that's here elect every 2 years, right. which is what? That's nothing but every 4 years, Salakia, which is nothing but the emperor. Right now, Trump, who is spiritually reincarnated, he was Nero in his past life. Which Nero hated the hell out of Jakes, man. Here it is. Trump called for the death penalty for the Central Park 5 that wasn't even the ones that they were just playing in the park, but they got accused of pretty much raping this so-called white woman, man. He was calling for the death penalty for them, and they hadn't even been convicted yet. But yeah, you got this Edomite cop that's down in Atlanta that guns down to Jake, which all that Jake had to do was comply. Even though that cop was wrong, Trump is saying, I hope he get his fair share within the justice system. I hope he gets a fair trial within the justice system. Why ain't you calling for the death penalty for that nigga, man? Which shows you how unjust Esau Edom is. It shows you how much he truly hates you. That's the spirit and energy that he comes in. But anyways, you got the president, which is elected every 4 years. He's an emperor. But then you got the Senate. This is the same thing that was going on in ancient Rome. So this is that same system all over again. Go ahead.
And he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
It says that he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to do what?
To receive a mark in their right hand.
To receive a mark in their right hand. If you were free, then you wouldn't. If you were so-called sovereign, why you got to receive a mark in your hand? You only tag something like cattle. You tag your horse. Your horse is not free. Your horse belongs to you. That's the reason why you tagging the horse. So that you can let everybody know that this is your horse. That's what the elites are trying to do to you. But you claim that you're free, man. Can you drive without a driver's license? Can you get a job without a social security card? Ain't none of you free, man.
Leave the country.
Go ahead. You can't even leave the country without a passport. And if you go a place on a visa, the most you can probably get is 2 weeks. You might can go for 6 months if you're on a work visa or whatnot, but then you got to bring your stinking ass back to where you left from, man. Why? Because you're their property, man.
That's right.
So it's going to take for the Lord to come to liberate us from these people.
That's right.
This man wants, and here it is. You got us. You got people celebrating Juneteenth, talking about that they're free, right? That they were free back then. When the word emancipate doesn't mean nothing but transfer. You were transferred from being slaves in the South to being slaves up north, and now they're giving you fake money. They're not giving you gold and silver. Fiat currency is not money, but yet they're taxing your labor, man. So you're losing both ways. But now they want to take it a step further, and not only are they enslaving us, but they want to enslave their own people by way of giving them the mark of the beast. The low-level so-called white people. But the only ones that it matter against is us, because we're God's chosen people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's
right.
That's the reason why the scriptures say, he that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of mine eye. He wasn't speaking about the so-called white man. He can give a damn about them. And the scripture says that the Lord loved Jacob and he hated Esau. Esau is the one that wants to give you the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Keep going.
That's right.
To receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Keep going.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So what is that? That's slavery. That's putting you back in slavery. And that's making you a perpetual slave to the so-called white man. Why? Because now, you still within this system, you can work under the table. You can go without paying taxes. All right? But it's going to get to the point where you can't do that. All of the money, all of your transactions, everywhere you go, everything you do, this devil is going to record it. And that's the reason why he's getting you prepared by way of giving you technology such as the phones, the smartphones, with certain apps on it. It tracks all of the things that you do. It collects data on you. And that data is going to be used and put in the database so that when they do roll about the mark of the beast, they can already have everything on you. Go ahead.
Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man.
It says count the number of the beast. Now, when you look up the word count in Greek, it means to reckon and it means to vote. So let's vote what the mark of the beast is. Is it going to be 666 tattooed on your forehead? Is it going to be a barcode? Although when you look at the barcode system, the 3 long lines on the barcode does represent 666. That same technology is going to be within the mark of the beast, but it's not the mark of the beast. It's going to be inside of the mark of the beast, so they'll be able to scan your hand or scan your forehead. But it's not going to be a barcode that's on your forehead. It's going to be a chip that they want to put inside of you. You had Elon Musk say that this year he wanted to run trials of putting the first brain implant inside of somebody's brain. It didn't happen this year. Now he's shooting for 2021. If you look at all of this COVID-19 thing and everything that's going on, Esau is preparing, which Esau is a so-called white man. He knows that the whole COVID-19 thing was a psyop. Psyop means a psychological operation. They're getting ready to do away with the dollar and to get everybody on the mark of the beast system. Now you got everybody out here protesting Black Lives Matter, right? They'll do a killing to make people go and protest after seeing that so-called black people are the ones that are spreading the virus. To make you get together in a cluster to say, okay, well, look, they got together to protest, but that made the COVID-19 numbers go back up high. Yes. So we got to do something, and the first thing that they're going to do is chip you niggas, man.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That's right.
Where it's the number of a man, and his number is 666.
So the mark of the beast isn't 666. All right? The mark of the beast is the RFID chip. 666 helps you to understand what the mark of the beast is. So let's count what the number of the mark of the beast is. Can you go to Galatians 6 and 17? Go to it in the blue letter. Because when you go into the word 666, it's Kaisai stigma. You got Kaisai stigma. What does the word stigma mean? What is a stigma? And when the apostles break it down, I'm gonna use the reference that they use. They say when a girl goes around the neighborhood and she sleeps with a bunch of different guys, she gets a stigma which is basically a reputation. You know, a mark put on her as being a whore. You know.
You have the word stigma.
Yeah, go ahead. No, well, hold on, wait. Let's read the first verse.
Okay,
This is Galatians 6 and 7.
But this is the whole reason of going through all of that which to show how this beast system is ruling over at this point in time. We're still under Esau Edom. We're still in captivity. Esau Edom is a so-called white man. The reason that they're known as Edom is because they're red. You're not white, you're red. We're not black, we're brown.
That's right.
But those are different colors that your nation put on us just so that they can get away with all of the things that they did to us. If you can create two classes of people and you can make it seem like this other people are inferior to you, that means that you can do whatever the hell you want to them. So they make themselves seem white to be superior. Go ahead.
This is Galatians 6:17. From henceforth, let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord. Yahushua.
Now, how are the marks put inside the Lord? How was the marks put inside the Messiah? The marks that were put inside of him were put inside of him by way of railroad spikes. You know? Now, when you go into that word mark, Esau wants to do the same thing to you, but he's going to use a syringe to put his mark inside of you. Go ahead. Go ahead with the definition for mark.
This is Strong's G4742. Stigma, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general
they said to indicate what master. Well, wait, if you're free, you don't have to have a master. If you're free, why you got a master if you're free? The masters of this country and the people that are within this country is the Rothschilds, man.
That's right.
And they want to further show you that they're your masters by way of chipping you. So if you're free, you're not about to be in a minute. If you claim that you're so-called free, you're not about to be free in a minute, because they're about to chip their cattle.
That's
they're
right.
about to brand their cattle. Go ahead.
To ancient Oriental usage, slaves.
It says what?
To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers.
Hold on, wait, what?
Slaves and soldiers.
So the so-called white man wants to put you back in slavery. But not just you as Negroes. He wants to enslave the whole world, man. And chipping or branding your slaves is something that's ancient. It's something that goes back a long time. As a matter of fact, Exodus 21. Go ahead and finish that.
Okay. A mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to.
And look at this shit. They got a block party over there. But every time you look at the Detroit Free Press, all the coronavirus are spiking. You know, there's an agenda, man. Go ahead.
Or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies.
Branded or pricked, cut into their bodies. So Esau is going to cut you with a syringe to put inside of you the karagma. Go back to Revelation 13 and look up the word mark within 13 and 16. And we're gonna go into each root word and explain exactly what it is. So you had the Greek Empire translated to the Roman Empire. Well, how did the Greeks look? That's a demon we haven't seen in a long time. How did the Greeks look, man? The Greeks they look like the same people that's ruling in power right now. But their rulership, their kingdom, was translated into the Romans. They're the same people. The Romans went down and they came back into power, they came back into power after the Byzantine Empire, where they took our people down, man. So you got Edomites today, they pride themselves on when we were the Romans, we were great, or when we were the Greeks, we were great. Go ahead.
Word for mark in the Greek, G5480, karagma, says a stamp and imprinted mark.
An imprinted mark, a stamp and imprinted mark. So how's Esau going to put his mark inside of you? He's going to, his mark is the charagma, all right? That's the imprinted mark, but how's he going to put it inside of you? Can you go to the root word of that? Which the root word of that, charagma, is karax. Hey, when you go and research, you can go into Google, you can type in earliest use of the word charagma, all right, outside of the Bible. And it'll tell you the bite of a serpent. The serpent, which is the dragon, wants to bite you and put his venom inside of you. He wants to put that mark of the beast inside of you, man. Go ahead.
Karax, G5482, a pail or stake.
A pail or stake. So the karax is what they're going to use to put the charagma inside of you. Which the charagma, the karax is the syringe that they're going to use. Go to the root word of that. The root word of that is grapho. And the graph, go ahead.
To write with reference to the form of the letters.
So the grapho is the information, that 666 information, that barcode information that's written beside the RFID chip. That's going to allow people that receive it to buy and sell. That's going to allow people that use it to pretty much access certain, vital information or different parts of their houses or start their car. Which all of this is the beast deceiving you, man, to receive his mark. The whole setup of the COVID-19 thing was the beast deceiving you. Revelation, the 19th chapter, in verse 20, if I'm not mistaken. And what came to mind just recently, you had so-called pastors doing the drive-in COVID tests at their church. There was a major church in Detroit called Triumph. They were doing drive-up coronavirus tests. Which shows you what? That because these churches have that 501c3 tax exemption, they can't speak out against certain things that the government's doing. And whatever Esau wants them to do, they got to do. These pastors sold out. So these pastors are going to be pushing for their congregation to receive the mark of the beast. Here it is, these pastors, they could have been warning, oh, this is a psyop from the government. Don't believe it. Trust in the Lord. They even closed down their congregation, but then they opened it up because they too need that money to survive, man. So they didn't open up the church, but they started doing drive-by churches, and they also started doing drive-by tests. They're setting y'all asses up, man. The pastors are setting y'all asses up too to receive the mark of the beast. Go ahead. Any of y'all read?
Revelation 19 and 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that worked miracles before him.
The false prophets that wrought miracles before him. Go ahead.
With which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image.
God. So these churches are going to work hand in hand with this beast to help deceive the people into taking the mark of the beast. And he's going to help, one of the things, people are going to be deceived. They're going to say, okay, well, look, if you take this RFID chip, you'll never get sick again. Or if you take this mark of the beast, you can receive your sight to see again. If you take the mark of the beast, you can walk again. If you take the mark of the beast, you'll be safe from the coronavirus, COVID-19.2. When it comes back the second time. That's it on that. Hey, brothers got precepts, right? No, that's cool. You had somebody had Isaiah 63. Consider this: Esau Edom is making an agenda to where he wants to chip everybody, but yet you got people thinking that they're free right now. He's going to show you just how free you're not. And if you think that you're free, he's going to create an opportunity for you to put yourself back into slavery under him. Because he's going to give you the choice, okay, look, either you receive death, if it's not by the guillotine, but it's by starvation, it's by not being able to drink, it's by not being able to eat, it's by not being able to work. And if you just put yourself in servitude, if you put yourself in slavery under us and you receive this mark, then you can work again. Genesis 47. Go ahead with your precept.
Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath.
Yeah, and that's perfect. He's about to show you right now why he is the dragon. He's about to come with those draconian laws, which is going to be like the movie 1984. It's going to be a totalitarian society where the rich elites are the ones that are in control. They might do away with the police and come up with a militarized police force where all of the police are just one. That means that it's no borders. You don't have to worry about not crossing over into Detroit to go to East Point, or to go to St. Clair Shores, or to go to Grosse Pointe. You don't have to worry about being a Detroit police officer not being able to go into Dearborn, or not being able to go into Chicago, or not being able to go into New York. There's going to be one police system, and there's going to be a dictatorship and a totalitarian system where the so-called white man is ruling over, and if you don't comply, guess what? They shut off your chip. It's going to be similar to what's going on over in China right now with the social credit system. With the so-called social credit system, if you got a bad social credit score, you can't hang out with certain people. Which if you were hanging out with that person and that person was known to make trouble, that person has a low social credit score. So that means that they can't buy groceries at certain places. That means that they can't buy a ticket to travel. That means that they can't buy an airplane ticket. That means that they can't rent certain houses in certain areas. That's how the market of beast system is going to be set up within America. But Esau would turn your shit off, man.
Right.
So why would you want to be under that system anyway? Why would you comply to that? And if Esau is bugged out, man. But you see more white people protesting Black Lives Matter. That's just Esau and the so-called rebellious spirit.
It's fun, huh?
Yeah, it's just fun.
It's just fun to them.
It's him being able to rebel and to do what's already in his nature anyway.
Yeah,
it's a release for them.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead. Genesis 47. And go to about 12. You know what? Go to 16.
This is Genesis.
Because Esau's going to make things so bad to the point where you want to take his mark of the beast. And that's the reason why we need the scriptures, because the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of your time. Things are going to get so bad and tempted to where even people that are in the truth are tempted to take that mark of the beast. Real quick, Revelation 3:10 before I read this.
Revelation 3, verse 10, because that has kept the word of me from my patience, and I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come up all upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
So this situation is going to be tempting even for men that are in the truth. But the thing is, we're going to use this word. We're going to use the word in our faith to overcome this beast in the system. We're going to use our faith in Yahweh Shai to overcome this beast system, man. Go ahead.
Behold, I will keep quickly, hold that fast, which thou hast, that no man may take thy crown.
Kind of that what you should hold fast is this word, man. You know, stick to this word. You don't have a positive conduct, following in the example of Yahweh Shai. You know, and keep striving in this thing, that no man will take your crown. Beat back your flesh, because that man that can take your crown is yourself. If you give in to not fighting Satan, you're not fighting those demons that attack you, you're not fighting your flesh, You got to beat back the flesh so that you will not one day be called a reprobate, man. That's it on that, Dwight. Go ahead with that. Brother said precept. Who said precept? Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 36, verse 5. Isaiah says, "Thou, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for war. Now on whom doest thou trust, that thou rebellest against me? Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed. On Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him."
God. So if you lean upon this place, guess what? This place is going to pierce you through with the RFID chip. And which you got a lot of our people that are still leaning on this place for support. That's the reason why you got them waiting on stimulus checks. They're waiting on unemployment. They'll rather have a stimulus check and unemployment than to go into the kingdom of heaven, man. They'll be stressed out, mad as hell, because they can't pay their bills. But as soon as Esau give them some money, they fine. That's the reason why the scripture said, "Give, destroy the heart." Esau is getting ready to pierce these people through, man.
That's right.
And a lot of them gonna take it. They don't want the kingdom of heaven. They want that kingdom right here. A nigga will be satisfied with a 3-bedroom house within the ghetto, man, living in the project. Guns being shot just as long as he has some money to buy some weed, man, and to buy a PS5 and shit. And a new iPhone and some Jordans. Which you seen all of these jakes lining up with their stimulus check at fucking Nike, man. Or lining up with unemployment, coming out with arms full of, yeah, you're gonna be fresh as hell in that day, man. But I hope those shoes can help you get away from the martial arts. And the missiles. Go ahead. But these people are getting ready to give their lives over to, Pharaoh, man. They're about to, because once things really get bad, you got people all in a peace and safety spirit right now. They're like, okay, well, that great George Floyd shit blew over. You don't even hear about him in the news no more. Like Apostle Tahar said, oh, that shit blew over. All right, so now everything can go back to normal. The cities are being opened back up. This isn't nothing but peace and safety, man.
That's right.
But the scripture say when they shall say peace and safety, then what? Sudden destruction. Go ahead.
That's right.
Genesis 47:16, and Joseph said, "Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fails."
God, so he would give you for your cattle if money fell. And guess what? Money is felling. The dollar bill is felling. Go ahead.
And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for their flocks, and for their cattle of the herds, and for the asses. He fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year.
Within this place, there's executive orders to take your cattle, to take your farmland, to take your house, to seize your car, to seize your airplane, to seize the roadways in the time of state of emergency. Go ahead.
When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, "We will not hide it from my Lord."
We ain't gonna hide it from you. We ain't got shit to eat, man, and we ain't got nothing to give you. So what can we do so that you can give us food? Go ahead.
How that our money is spent, my Lord also have
we're broke in the hole, man. Go ahead.
My Lord also have our herds and cattle.
You got our herds, you got our cattle. We ain't got nothing to give you. So the only thing left that we can offer you is what?
There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord but our bodies.
But our bodies. So that same energy, the modern day pharaohs, which are ruling out of America, is gonna come in that same energy and vibration.
Right.
Which they're gonna make things so bad for you to the point where you'll be willing to offer your body unto them, so that you can continue to live. And when you offer your body, what are they gonna give you? They're gonna give you an RFID chip to tag your body, because now you were their cattle before, but now there's no way that you can go without being their cattle because you're tagged now. You got a birth certificate, you got a social security card, you got an ID That ID, that driver's license that you got, it say the state of Michigan, or it say the state of Ohio, or it say the state of Florida, or it say the state of Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, whatever it says, man. Alabama, that's the plantation that you belong to. These states ain't nothing but big ass plantations, man. But the elites need more order and control, and not just over America, over the whole world. So that's the reason why they're getting ready to push this RFID chip system, because they want to put y'all asses back in slavery. And they're going to make it to where famines happen. They're going to make it to where deers happen, where animals are killed, where food can't make it to, the places where they need to go. They're going to put pestilences out there and diseases.
Right.
Order ab chaos, order out of chaos. Just so you can get to the point where you all fucked up and they're coming with a solution, and that solution is going to be the RFID chip. And because you don't know no better, because you wasn't taking heed to the prophets, because you wasn't listening to the men of the Lord that was speaking through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because you wasn't reading, you're going to be one of the ones that take it, because the man of the Lord knows better. The scriptures say, my servant shall eat. Go ahead.
This is Second Corinthians 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right? And that's what the brother's talking about. If we didn't get down with this word, this program, man. Hey, look, we're not waiting for no Black Lives Matter or what they said and we say. We wait for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man.
That's right.
Man, we're not dealing with the rest of the world and what they in. That's why nobody sees us as we stand out here on the highways and hedges, man. They just look, they go by, they glance and keep going, they forget as soon as they walk by, man. The Lord take the spirit right off of them when they go by. It's nothing in their heart that they're gonna stand by, because what? It's only for certain men. It's only for certain men to hear this, man. The Lord got to give you spiritual ears, man. You got to precept give it to
God. This is Sirach 13:11. Affect not to be made equal with him in talk, and believe not his many words. For with much communication, he will tempt thee.
Right. Talking all this shit when you out here protesting. This is the protest. We out here protesting against the world, man.
That's right.
We're protesting against you devils, man. When we bring out the Bible, that's declaration of war. We tell you
That's
our
right.
power is coming back, man. Y'all over there, Jake listen to the words in Babylon, man. They like to listen to all these. They say, let us hear smooth things. Well, we're all one. That's not true. The scriptures don't say that, man. You put yourself, you want to be the all joined hand. What the scriptures say about hand joined hand, man?
Hand, the wicked shall not be.
And you're not going to be unpunished. So Jake is going to be out there swinging their hands with them. Troops going to come out of nowhere. Dudes going to recon off of roofs. It's going to be crazy, man.
Also, you see, when that protest was going on, there was a woman that was shot by a sniper with one of those rubber bullets. Right in her shit.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it. And you think that rubber bullet can
rubber
take her eye out?
bullets. It ain't gonna be rubber bullets no more.
It's gonna be the best. It's gonna be. Remember they showed they in the news they bought like over 1 billion bullets. What you think they're gonna do with those bullets, man? The dudes in the bullet shop were slaving for weeks. Got a little bonus. Overtime was all up in there, man. They got that bread because look, they at least is setting this up while you over here looking at Black Lives Matter. You're looking at her lives matter, white lives matter. Your life don't matter nowhere in this thing, man.
That's the reason why they were doing Jade Helm and stuff like that. All of those exercises, military exercises and drills in the city.
Go ahead, bro. Oh, no, I got brothers right here. Go ahead. Okay. You got more?
And smiling upon thee will get thee out thy secret, but cruelly he will lay up thy words, and will not spare and do thee hurt, and to put thee in prison. Observe.
Right. He won't waste his time to put you in prison. What you think he doing? He out here, he give you your life is actually in his hands. But he make laws. Somebody give me a rights decrees, 10-1. He make laws real quick, so he could put you in jail for the stuff he made you do, like this. Like I seen like jaywalking. There's two black kids.
Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah, they was walking on a street that had no sidewalk. Esau pull up and say he was jaywalking. But it have no, it's a neighborhood with no streets, with no sidewalks, I'm sorry. No sidewalks, so they walking on the street. They get arrested for that. Shit like that. Give me them righteous decrees real quick.
Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people.
Right. Go ahead.
That widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
Right. It's so much confusion with Esau's laws. His laws. He got thousands of laws that he bring up every year, man. That's why they tell you ignorance of the law is not basically no excuse. Basically, it's no excuse. But you don't know. They keep bringing more laws up, man. If you spit here today in front of a cop, he feel like arresting you. He can be arrested for that, man. Although he spit 2 minutes ago. Shit like that, man. This devil is a devil, man. Super
right.
devil, man. King, hey, look, the Most High made him a perfect devil.
That's right.
All right, go ahead. You got more?
Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrow.
Yeah, overthrown. You be overthrown, man. And that's what this devil want to do. He want to take and overthrow all of us. I use this analogy a lot of times. He'll come. You'll have a sports agent like this brother, football player, real good, and an agent come to him. He don't even know him. Get 10% of his money. After 5 years of him playing in the league, 5 years later after that, he's broke. Why is that? He can have endorsements. He can have $hundreds of millions. What's the reason? What's the reason for that? Because he looks for things to steal from Jacob. So what you think Esau is doing at this moment, man? He's looking for things to pull from you. He's looking for to just take your rights, your laws. He's want to take your life. He's not satisfied with just blood. He's beating your ass. And make you bloody. He wants your life, man. All right? You finished?
When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep.
Right? When you hear it? Okay, time. You got what? All right, go ahead.
Okay. Book of Isaiah, chapter 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Right.
And that shall now.
You're not going to the how about Shem Yahshua for help. You're going to your city, county, your government, the state. You're not praying to Yahweh Shem Yahshua to save us. You know, you don't want to hear that you're Israelite. Why you don't want to hear you're Israelite? Because it's too much work to be Israelite. I gotta stop eating pork, hell. What shrimp? Lobster? You gotta stop smoking. What? I got a story too. I got you, bro. You gotta stop smoking weed. You gotta observe the Sabbath. You know, which is giving you actually a day of rest. And you know we're this kingdom. We can't do nothing. You know, we can't stop going to work even on the Sabbath. But still, we got things to do. We gotta do things that the world. We don't gotta stop doing things that the world do. They don't want that. You know, some dudes want to do. Some Jake want to just do anything they want. They don't want to get rid of the old man. They want to live the way they want to live. That living the way you want to live is going to be hell to your mind, body, spirit, and soul. You got something?
Hell and death.
Yep, go ahead.
Sitting on horses and trusting chariots.
You trust in the military of America. Sitting on the chariot horses. Go ahead.
Because they are mighty.
Yeah, because you think America can't be brought down. It's mighty. It's a mighty army. It's a force can be reckoned with. I hear Jake say that all the time. Nobody can stop America. Yeah, right. The Heavenly Father can.
Yeah, that was a point. You know, moving up to that's Isaiah 63, Revelation 19. Yahweh Shah is about to stop this place, man.
Right.
That's the one that can take this. Because the scriptures say, who is a strong man who can lead me into the strong city, who can lead me into Edom. If you go ahead and you try to fight against Esau, for every one Edomite that you kill, you know, 7 of yours is going to die. That's the reason why I take Yahweh Shah to take you down.
That's why we.
Oh man.
Like we heard, I got stuff, bro.
Okay. And in horsemen because they are very strong.
Right, because you believe in the military. You believe in America, you don't believe in the Heavenly Father, man. You don't believe that we're going to be saved by the ultimate Air Force, which is what? Not even the Air Force, the ultimate power of the universe, man. It's like your name. You know? Jake over here with Moab? Jake? Straight up hood Jake, too. Go ahead. She got Moab?
By they look not the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
Now to seek the Lord. That's the point. Now to seeking the Lord, man. That's your first point as a man, of an Israelite man, to seek the Lord, man. That's your point. That's your point. Go ahead, bring it out.
Ezekiel 21:8. Again, the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth?
That's a good time to bring up that Isaiah 24.
All right, I'm bringing out right.
Keep going. Okay, kind. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. Cry and howl, Son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh.
God, right? The sword is representing death. The sword is that missile to come and destroy this place. The sword is sharper. It's like their worst. Venomous swords. It's going to be a destruction. Nuclear missiles going to attack this place. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, look at Isaiah chapter 24, verses 9 and 10. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down.
And that's how it's going to be broken down with those missiles, man. Go ahead, because Americans, what do you think the word the mall comes from? Babylon. City of confusion, man. All right, go ahead.
Every house is, what's that sticker?
Shut up.
Every house is shut up, then no man may come in. Then there is crying. That was it.
The city of confusion is going to be broken down, man. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Right, this ain't your rest. You can't sit back and kick back in America. Look,
Because it is
you hear the music going on in the back. You see, it's a line. I guess they get something for free. They handing out water, you know, with the thirst. You should be thirsty for this word.
Right.
There's no, they all Carson's right. That's why the bones were dry in Ezekiel, man. All right? They had there's no moisture, there's nothing to moisten them, man. They all going their own way, you know, until them dry religions, man. All right? Go ahead.
Yep. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you.
It's going to destroy that. And that's why it's only 144,000 that's going to make it out of the whole world.
That's right.
You know? Out of this, that's why 144,000 the elected going to make it, plus their women and children. I don't know the number. Go ahead.
Even with the sword destruction.
Even with the sword destruction, this place is polluted, man. So how you know? You see it in the forefront of your eyes. Our women walk through with their booty shorts out. We look at it in this moment and like, okay, but really, the time is when they get ready. What's gonna happen? You know, they're gonna try to complain. If I dress like this, I shouldn't have to go down. I shouldn't have to. You put yourself out there. Like ancient where the women dressed all the way down to, you know, know, they kept themselves covered.
They were scared at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody masked up.
Running faces, going in grocery stores. People just walking in, walking out, and it's not even checking it, just straight up, just still, not even running out. They just pick it up and just leave it. The look that women had, man, it was beautiful. It was just a shadow of what's about to happen.
And this Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked.
God, rejoice and be glad. You had your time. You know? I'm tired. That should be drunken. You're gonna be destroyed. Read that again, bro.
Lamentations 4:21. Okay. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked.
Right, that should be drunk. You're gonna be out of your mind when this go down. The Lord is about to expose you, man. Expose the rest of the nation, the Esau, the so-called white man. You're gonna be exposed, right? You're drunken. You're staggering. You're gonna fall, and there's nothing gonna happen. There's nothing else that we can say. That's why we wait for Yahweh Shemashah to come, man. My eyes are bound. Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, and verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
Right? Most High not going. He said it's going to be destroyed off the face of the earth. What place is that? Babylon, man. America, Assyria, Ophir. And the word Ophir means to be burnt up, right? Okay, or burnt away, or something like that. All right. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 53. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken. O Babylon.
Right, you a snare is a trap. The Lord put you in the trap. Why you think you got his children in the trap? All right, go ahead.
And it says, back at 24, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken. O Babylon, and thou ways be wasn't not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because they have striven against the Lord.
Yeah. They striven against the Lord by trying to turn the people against them, put chips in their head, take the women, our women, and make them whores. Hey, that's against the Most High, man. That's right. And you put it in front of, like you put in their face. What you'll put, what you say? Enticing them with reality TV, drugs, you know, sex. What they do with PLPR, you know, in the numbers. All right,
so I do the same thing. Easy. Real quick brief for you. This is Proverbs 12 chapter. It says, this is Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces him.
Right, the way of the wicked seduces him, man. So why explain how did they seduce him? We see it in the forefront of our eyes, telling them that a woman, it's okay to have many partners. The woman's supposed to have one all the rest of her life, you know, not giving Jake, not telling the Israelites, telling them that you can be a homosexual and nothing's going to be wrong with that. It's the opposite of when you do that. When a man do that to their body, it messes them up. Spirits come on you. We know what we're talking about through the scriptures, man. That's why a lot of things you filter them out, man. All right, go ahead. We got it. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 14:23. I will also make it a possession for the bitter and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts. Yahweh of hosts have sworn, saying, surely, as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand.
Right, Most High Yahweh promise and the purpose is what? This thing's going to just straighten up itself, man. The Most High is showing how the wicked live, and how we see what's going to happen when these tanks roll in, how the earth is going to shake. Hey, that's all that the course of Yahweh Shemashah said. He going to muster up the host of the battle, man. Right? So this thing is all, everybody think they got everybody think they had an option to, we're going to make this go. Elites actually think they're making the curve to go, but the Most High said He does that, man. He make the coast of the river, man. You can't do what you want to do, right?
This is Proverbs, the 21st chapter, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever He will.
So you can't do nothing because Yahweh Shemashah makes all. Hey, the king's heart is in the Lord's hand, man. So whatever his mind goes, if whatever we see out here, the destruction that happens is because the Most High put it in their mind, just like He did. Damn. Just like He put it in the mind. What's that, Cyrus?
Yeah,
Cyrus.
This is Daniel, the 10th chapter, verse 13. But the prince of the king of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the king of Persia.
Go ahead.
Now am I come to make thee to understand what shall be befall thy people in the latter days. For yet the vision is for many days.
It's coming. The vision for many days, and these are the days. But Yahweh Shemashah, the Heavenly Father, He makes all the stuff that's about to, the war that's about to go on. The famine is about to go on. Your little kid getting ran over by a truck in front of you. It's because of Yahweh Shemashah. As long as the issues of death.
Right.
Okay, so you can't. So Esau, whatever Esau think he got going on, it's most complicated making him do it. And you'll wonder why he got to do that. Why he got that? You don't get Jake talking about if I got if my guy do that. Why I believe in that guy? Because He the potter. He made you. He made everybody, man. You can't tell him what to do. He's the creator. Okay, you got something?
Yep. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves as rulers, take counsel together against the Lord Yahweh and against the anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision.
Right? Most High gonna have them in derision. He said He gonna sit up there and laugh. With the world, what you want to happen, it's gonna happen in the course of the Yahweh Shemashah. The death toll is gonna stack to the highest point. America's gonna be obliterated. Everybody's gonna be burnt up, and that ain't us pushing the button. The so-called white man got the buttons to the nuclear missiles. He gonna make them push it. All right, bring it out.
This is Revelation 19:6. And I heard, as it were, the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thunders, saying, Hallelujah, for the Lord Yahweh omnipotent reigneth. So that word omnipotent, as we brought it out earlier, it means He who is in control of all things. And Yahweh Shemashah is in control of all things. And real quick, one more. Since you mentioned that the Lord is going to make them push the buttons, because that's something that's going to happen to end Esau Edom's reign and his rulership. It's going to be the chariots with Yahweh and the angels coming in them, and it's going to be the thermonuclear destruction. Revelations 11 and 12. Revelation 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. In the same hour there was an earthquake, a great earthquake, and a 10th part of the city fell. And the earthquake was slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were fighting and gave glory unto Yahweh, power of heaven. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. And the seventh angel sounded, and there was a great voice in heaven saying, the kingdoms of the world are become the kingdoms of our Lord Yahweh, and of His Mashiach, and He shall reign forever and ever.
Hey, brother just said a whole bunch in that scriptures, man. He said the one woe is past, and the second woe is past, and the third is coming. That's talking about the world wars, man. And that's how everything went through a flash in that scripture. So we know that Yahweh shines about to flatten this place, man. He about to give Esau his reward, which is double. And which is double. He gonna give destruction is coming imminent. You know, the rest of the nations is about to be our servants. You know, the king is the heaven. The kingdom is our Lord's, man. And the rest of the world, if we gonna be in there, we gonna be because we are Israelites. He loved us. We gonna get all this, but we had to go through this light affliction. That's what you gonna say. Even the slavery, the death, that was just light affliction, man. But we had to go through this, man. Just to, when we said we have to go through the furnace to earn this, man, we have to go through the hell, man. Right? Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 75, and verse 4. There we go. And I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and unto the wicked, lift not up thy horn. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck.
That's right.
For promotion.
Yeah, Esau, you know, like it says when Daniel was dealing with the little horn, it says that he spoke very proud. You know, and that's the spirit and energy that Donald Trump comes in. Not saying that he's a little horn, but the little horn represents America, which was once 13 colonies, but it grew into this great nation. But you can see that pride that they come in, you know, as if they're God, you know, as if they're the Most High. Isaiah 14, what does it say? It says that he would exalt himself up into heavens, and he would reign within the kingdom of the north, you know, as if he was a God, roughly paraphrasing. That's that vibration that Esau Edom comes in. But yet you're lifting up yourself proud, like you were the one that put yourself in that position, but it was really the Most High Heavenly Father that gave you the kingdom, that allowed you to rule over.
Yep. Verse 6, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But it's Yahweh power is the judge. He put up down one and set up another.
I got a precept.
For in the hand of the Lord Yahweh there is a cup and wine that is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out the same, that the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall bring them out and drink them.
Right, you're gonna drink those dregs. The dregs of that backwash. You drink that backwash that go back in there. You're gonna drink that shit. We had to drink it. Now you gonna drink it. Dregs ain't a good part about it. It ain't a good. It's not the good part of the drink. You know when you let it go down there, you see all that little backwash.
That's the worst part. That's the worst part.
The nasty.
I got 2 creams for you.
I got you, bro. So you don't want that. They gonna receive that. So we had to go down. They gotta go down. We gonna stay up forever. They gonna go down forever. To the point we ain't gonna ever see their ass again. We're gonna be bougie too. What is that Edomite? What those Edomites say? I think I smell one 100 miles away. They gonna smell like woods. Woods and moss.
This is Daniel 2 and 20. Well, I'll start at verse 19. It says, then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in the night vision. Then Daniel blessed Yahweh of heaven. You know, and this is going back dealing with the dream of I believe that was let's see. That was Nebuchadnezzar, yep. The dream of Nebuchadnezzar, which Nebuchadnezzar said, hey, unless you can tell me what my dream was without me telling you, then I know of a certain that what you're saying to me isn't the truth. If you truly had these powers that you say that you say that you have, then pretty much you'll be able to tell me my dream without me even telling it to you. Which the only one that was able to do that was Daniel, which the Most High Heavenly Father revealed that interpretation to him by way of Daniel having a dream, if I'm not mistaken. It says in verse 20, Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of Yahweh forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons, and he removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. So the point being is the Most High Heavenly Father removed kings and he set up kings. That's the reason why when you go into Daniel, the 2nd chapter, it talks about the statue. The head of the statue being what? Of gold. Being the Babylonian Empire, which was taken down by the Persian and the Medes, silver. Then going down to brass, being the Greek Empire, then going back to the legs of iron, which represents the Roman Empire. And as each metal is superior than the other, that's how stronger the next, a kingdom to rise up, which more mightier and stronger than the other one. Although gold is a more precious metal than iron, it's not as strong as iron. And the so-called white man under the Roman Empire, he used that iron to take down all of the rest of the nations, man. And even up to today, Esau is using his iron to pretty much keep the rest of the nations in subjection, man. But the point being is, the Most High Heavenly Father took down one kingdom and he set up another. He took down that kingdom and he set up another. He took down another kingdom. And guess what? The next kingdom to come after that last kingdom, which we're in right now, which is the Roman Empire, is going to be the rulership of us, man.
That's right.
But Esau, being in power at this moment, is exalting himself against the Most High Heavenly Father. Even though the Most High Heavenly Father allowed him to do what he's doing right now and to get that power and that rulership and authority over the earth. This is Romans, the 10th chapter, beginning at verse 13. It says, "For he says, by my strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And my hand have found a nest, the riches of the people, and as one gatherer of eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod should shake itself against him that lifted it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself, or as it were no wood. Therefore shall Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, sit among his fat ones' leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. Because Esau, in his pride, lifted himself up against the Most High Heavenly Father, as if he was the one that made himself do all of these things and accomplish all of these things that he did in the earth. As if he's a God and that there's no power in heaven that's orchestrating all of these events that go on down here. So he's full of pride. So therefore the Most High Heavenly Father has to show the so-called white man that they're not gods. And that he's the true power, man.
You keep taking pictures.
I had a piece of it.
Yeah, go ahead. Anyway, let's hey, so thank you. Good. So with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh.
Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakakodash.
Give honor to the apostle of the peace citation. Shalom. Bubba.
Bubba.